This is a coat rack. According to Wikipedia, a coat is a garment worn by both men and women, presumably not simultaneously, for warmth or fashion, presumably sometimes simultaneously. Coats typically have long sleeves and are open down the front, closing by means of buttons, zippers, hook and loop fasteners, toggles, a belt, or a combination of some of these. Riveting. Sorry, just to be clear on that last point, I'm not saying that coats are also sometimes closed by rivets. Though I guess they could be. So yeah, this is a coat rack. Well, actually it's not. It's kind of an everything rack. Coats, backpacks, keys, wallets, sunglasses, everything. If you've watched my other videos, then by now you kind of know how I go about things. For the most part, I'm pretty calculated. I've usually drawn out a piece like 9 or 10 times before I actually cut anything. Not this project, though. This project was jazz, at least by my standards. Pretty much all I knew was the rough size that I wanted it to be and the sorts of things that would be hanging from it, but that's about it. I gotta say, as much as I like making the fancier pieces, some of the most fun projects that I've done have been the kind of stupid little things. Not that this one's stupid or little. A good example is our pantry. A few years ago, we got a tankless water heater that's located outside. Before that, our water heater was in a cabinet in our kitchen. So when we removed it, we had a huge empty cabinet. The cabinets in our kitchen aren't very nice. Actually, the whole kitchen isn't very nice. Some former owners had the house repossessed back in 2006, and the bank hired some race-to-the-bottom contractors to come in and fix the place up. So the kitchen is newish, but far from nice. It's kinda not bad enough to remodel, but not nice enough to truly enjoy. It's in remodel purgatory. Anyway, the point of all this is to say, for the same reason that I wouldn't rent a cabin on Lake Arrowhead so that I could practice re-shingling a roof, I wasn't going to spend a lot of time or money making a really nice interior for cabinets that I wasn't really that fond of, or that I don't really view as permanent. So I spent about 75 minutes cutting out 4 plywood shelves and 8 plywood strips for said shelves to rest on, screwing the strips to the interior sides of the pantry, screwing the shelves down to the runner strips, and populating our new pantry with an amount of Oops All Berries and Count Chocula so obscene it would make Lamar Odom want to sit me down for a heart-to-heart about getting my priorities straight. And that was it, start to finish in less time than it would take to watch a fifth of Titanic. By the way, I didn't originally intend on painting the insides of the Dados, but there were more burns than at a 1993 Yo Mama joke competition, so, well, yeah. At first I was going to be real careful about it, but then right about here, I realized it was going to be messy and I just went for it. I don't think this is the prettiest project that I've ever made, but it's functional. Most of the time my pretty to functional ratio is about 60-40. 60% of my priority is making it pretty, and 40% is making it functional. This one is at least reversed from that. Maybe more. I'd go so far as to say 20-80. I like the fact that you can plug the little shelves and pegs in anywhere and set all sorts of little things on them. I left myself with some big nice blanks for shelves and pegs because I'm sure I'll want to move things around once we've lived with this buddy for a little while. A little detail information. So the dados are cut at 15 degrees. That way anything sticking into them ends up at a 15-degree angle and can't slide off. There are 3 basic pieces that can slot into the dados. Rounded off pegs, which are good for coats, backpacks, purses, that sort of thing. Shelves, which are wider pieces that I then cut a 75-degree bevel on, 90-15. That way the top of the shelf ends up being a flat surface, good for glasses, wallets, Thomas the Tank Engines. And key hooks. These are just narrow versions of the shelves that stick in upside down. Little projects are great. Maybe they don't have the pizzazz that the nicer builds do. And maybe you don't get to stop and stare at them with a feeling of accomplishment once every couple weeks while you pass them by. But you get to use them. And they solve a problem. These projects are fun because they are so immediately gratifying. You think of something, you do it, and you're enjoying it that night. It's liberating. It just makes you wish that everything in life was so easy to fix. See you next time.